Hi everyone, Garrett here, and I want to talk to you just real quick about our daily devotion and the scripture reading that we're in today. So today we're in Jeremiah chapter 32, and hopefully you've read the verses. If you have not yet, I encourage you to go do so. That's Jeremiah 32 verses 36 through 33 verse 3. And so if you haven't done that yet, I would encourage you to go and read the scriptures for yourself. Get lost in them a little bit and the stories that they tell, because it's incredible. The things that we learn as we read these stories that really happen to real people, different places, and it tells us all about God. And that's what I love about the Old Testament. It tells us more about his heart, and we're going to see that here today. And so God has really explained devastation and loss at the disobedience of his people. I love how you see God's heart in this passage. That he is a God who gets angry, yes. He hates getting angry at his children. He doesn't like that. He doesn't relish that. But he says, why have you been so obstinate? Why have you not believed me? Why have you rejected me as your God? Why have you rejected my ways? And so God tells Jeremiah to tell his people that they will be delivered over to the Babylonians. The destruction is coming. And unfortunately, Jeremiah had this grim message to tell people. And we see over and over again in the book of Jeremiah. I mean, this is a sorrowful man with a sorrowful duty to again and again warn the people of God's coming judgment because of their sins. And yet they did not turn from him. God's people didn't say, okay, we get it, it's enough. Our hearts are convicted, and we're going to follow after you. And yet God had a plan, and that's what I want to highlight here. God says this, tell them this, even though they will be delivered up to the Babylonians, in my furious wrath and anger. He says, however, they will be my people, and I will be their God. I will give them singleness of heart and action, so that they will always fear me for their own good and the good of their children after them. I will make an everlasting covenant with them. I will never stop doing good to them, and I will inspire them to fear me, so that they will never turn away from me. This is what God has wanted all along. Have no other gods before me. Just come after me, your maker. Be one with me. But you have to put me first. And God says when they won't do it, I'll do it for them. I'll give them this heart to know me and to be at peace with me, to seek me with everything within them. And then God says this, I will rejoice in doing good. I will rejoice in doing good. See, even in the midst of this dark time, and Jeremiah's life doesn't get a whole lot better after this, God gives him this promise. It's this little hope that he gets to hold on to. And it's that God promises that he will rejoice in doing good to the children of Israel and of the promise. And he promises that. He says this. He says, and I will assuredly plant them in this land with all my heart and soul. If God is going to do something with all of his heart and soul, it's going to happen. There's nothing that can stop him. Nothing that can stop our God. And he says he's going to do good for his people. That does not mean that we will not suffer and we will not struggle. And as Jeremiah, we're bound with a solemn duty to tell people about Jesus even when things are difficult and things are hard, because of the hope that is inside of us. And so would we cling to that hope and recognize all the blessings that we have each and every day, because we don't live in this Old Testament. We don't live under the fury and wrath of God. We live under Christ, and we have him. We have experienced this promise that he will give us a new heart and we will be his people, and he will be our God. We've experienced so much of this promise, so let us not lose heart by recognizing that there's going to be hard days and tough times. We've received so much, and even more will come, and God will rejoice when he will bring the fullness of all that good to us. So let's persevere and endure until then. Thanks, guys. God bless.